he looked the welterweight, but
he's huge, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at him thinking, how have you ever made 155?
He's huge, yeah.
He's thick, and not necessarily tall, but he's just
no,
thick.
he just looks
thick.
Like,
his chest, his shoulders. Security nearly rubbed me tackle to the ground when I walked across to him, mate. And he goes, no, come on, brother.
Some man, they wanna chat shit till I knock 'em out like I'm Jack Shaw. Rolls hat, rolls back, my flow sharp like a hacksaw. Getting off.
Righto, welcome back. Time to podcast, solo episode, no guest today. We're here to discuss big weekend of fights coming up. We've got UFC 322. Islam Makhachev against Jack Della Maddalena, and we have got the Eubank Benn fight. And if we got time, we'll touch on the Tom Aspinal fiasco, even though I've already done a video on it.
Yeah.
What should we do first? Let's do the boxing first, because as we all know, we got quite split opinions on Eubank and Benn. Are you going to watch the fight, Richard?
I will watch the fight. Probably on the dodgy stick, because I refuse to pay for it.
You haven't got a dodgy stick, you're only joking.
Not on mine, but I'm going to Mike the Truth's house to watch it. So I'll be up Truth's, because it's my birthday, and he's going to do his meal, and we're going to watch the Benn boxing.
On his dodgy stick.
On his dodgy stick. But on a serious note, I stand by what I said last time. It is a gimmick, but it was a brilliant fight because, as I said last time, two mediocre fighters met in the middle and banged it out.
They're not mediocre fighters at all, but
no, I take that back.
You do take it back.
I take back that they're decent fighters, but
they wouldn't be making as much money if they fought.
No, and that's off to them. They've jumped on their dad's legacy. You was very similar. Do you know what I mean? You've jumped on mine, didn't you, over the years and made the most of that. But I totally get it.
To be honest, it's a testament to how big a stars. I don't think like my generation probably understand how big a stars Eubank and Benn were. I was explaining this to someone the other day in the gym. One of the youngsters, and I was saying how, like, back in the 90s, Benn and Eubank wouldn't be able to walk down the street, would they, in the UK?
And don't forget this as well, mine. No social media.
No, yeah.
Right, there's no social media in the 90s. It was newspapers, TV programmes, and the news channels. Absolutely huge stars. Benn was an international star. Eubank was an international star, but I don't think on the level of Benn, because Benn actually went to America.
He had the big fights in America.
He had the big fights out there. I ran Barkley, he beat, which was a huge
Ciryl Gane, wasn't it?
Ciryl Gane. But European-wise, Eubank was on the same path.
Benn didn't fight Roy Jones, did he?
No.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It's a testament how big a stars they far were. That, you know, I want to agree that they're mediocre fighters, but had they come up on the smaller shows, then perhaps they would never get this type of payday. But as you said, I don't think anyone expected the first fight to be as good as it was, just because.
And listen, it is just reward. Their fathers never got the money that they were doing, so you know. It's probably nice for the dads to see that, and I mean this with respect, the boys are not as good as the fathers.
No.
Right? But are probably earning 10 times the money.
Well,
best luck, love.
Yeah, I was listening to Eubank Senior was having it out with Simon Jordan on TalkSport. I was watching it on YouTube last night when I was in the garage, and he's right in what he was saying. Again, he was talking about the weight anyway.
Yeah.
But, so, to give it a bit of context, he was saying... the fight, Simon Jordan's just a cock, and he was trying to argue, you know, well, who could tell you what to do when you was a fighter? And he was like, well, Senior was saying, well, this is what I'm saying. People should be there to protect them. The fight shouldn't be happening. The weight is happening. Ben's too small. Chris is too big to be having a rehydration clause. What he was saying is, anyway, he done a fight at cruiserweight, didn't he, Senior? For $2 million. It was a big domestic. I can't remember who he said he fought.
Was it Danny Thompson, I think?
Might have been. Yeah, I think it might have been.
Sure
anyway, but he said, Simon Jones said, would you have turned down, you wouldn't have turned down the fight against Danny Thompson?
Yeah, for
the money. He said, no, I wouldn't have for $2 million. He said, which is why the board and the governing body should be there to protect the fighter. He said, because you could have told me to fight Mike Tyson, I would have said, yeah, we're too...
Yeah.
But anyway, the point...
Fighters are fighters, and if there's money involved, they're always going to say...
The point I'm making is, he had $2 million for that fight, and I think Junior had 12 mil for the last one, and I'll probably have more.
Take into account the time as well, mind. You know, you.
Yeah.
It's probably worth about 5-6 million today.
Yeah.
What are you doing? But they weren't earning nothing near. Same as the trouble. The beautiful thing about social media is now, if you've got a million followers, you'll have a lot of brands reach out to you because you can get marketing through their social media page. Them blokes never had nothing that to turn up and do.
Yeah, they might have a sponsor on the shorts or whatever, but yeah, it's you know, the weight is the big issue. I think it's a tailor to what they call it, a double-edged sword, because
it's detrimental. It can be detrimental to both fighters.
Because Conor is too small to be fighting at 160, but at the same time, if you're gonna, in my opinion, anyway, not to jump like I prefer Eubank to Conor Benn, but not to jump on the bandwagon. But in my opinion, if you want a big money fight and you know you can only make that fight at 160. You shouldn't then force the guy who've always fought at 160 to do a rehydration course.
Yeah.
Because they wanted it at 157 when it was first scheduled, when he got popped for the drugs.
So what have Eubank fought at normally?
He's fought between 154 and his last sort of 4 or 5 years he's fought at 160, but obviously without having the rehydration clause.
Oh, so then he gets.
So now he
can
come
in as heavy as he wants to follow.
Yeah.
Right?
So what he said,
what's the rehydration? What's the limit?
£10.
And what would he normally put? As he said,
he said that he would weigh in 160 and he would come in around 180,
which is about like £20.
Yeah, because he is a big guy for the weight. Where was I going when I lost my train of thought? Oh, so yeah, it's a debt. I don't like the rehydration clause. Yeah. However, I slag Simon Jordan off. He did make a good point in the sense of, well, your son could have said no. You know, he could have said, I'm not doing this second fight with a rehydrator. But at what point does wealth outweigh the money you're going to get? But it's easy to say when you haven't got a £25 million contract offer in front of you.
And in defence of Conor Benn, he's the guy that's coming up the weight. I totally get why you would ask for a rehydration clause. Otherwise, it could be, I don't know, £20-30 difference on the day.
Well, Ben's probably walking around at
the weight he's fighting.
Fighting at.
And you've got to remember, he's coming off. He lost the last fight. Not controversial, but a lot. I didn't watch the fight, but people saying it could have gone either way. Is that the case?
Yeah, I think it was the right decision, but it was a good fight. Yeah,
so
close fight.
He's not going to want to go 0-2. So he's going to do everything in his power to make it a bit more of an even playing field to give him a chance of winning that fight. So no criticism off me.
Well, so the little change up for this fight is Eubank Jr. have got Bomac back in the camp. Bomac is Terence Crawford's head trainer. Yeah. And he brought Bomac in when he rematched Liam Smith and absolutely done it.
So he's not got Roy Jones Jr. in the corner?
No, he hadn't had Roy Jones for a couple of years. Basically, he had Bomac in the corner for his rematch with Liam Smith when he smashed him. I don't think he cornered him for the last fight. I think he was training Crawford for the Canelo fight. But now he's back in the corner. And from what I can guess on like the countdown type stuff, they're saying that he's doing the weight a little bit different this time. Apparently he's going to get lower rather than do the water.
Diet down
rather than do his bigger water cut. So I think he'll go one of two ways. I think that'll either be a detriment to him. But then I'm hearing Conor Benn trying to say this week, whether it's true or not, that he's not going to fight emotional and he's going to stick to his game plan. But my opinion on it is the reason it was such a close fight last time is because I think Junior was feeling the effects of the rehydration clause. Conor Benn tried to kill him for the first round. And I think Eubank had to throw his stick and move thing up the window and thought, I just got to dig my feet in and fight, which got him tired because of the rehydration and made it a closer fight. But he was still the fitter fighter at the end. I think if Conor Benn comes and just tries to box tidy and be technical, I think he'll just favour Eubank because it means he won't use as much energy. But then Eubank is saying, trust me, round 1 is going to be like round 13. I'm going to pick it up where we left off. So
we'll see. We see a lot of this talking. Is you know more about than me. Is there a genuine hatred between the two boys? Hatred. It's a strong word, hatred. Because let me tell you, their fathers hated every part of each other. Their personalities, everything. There was nothing. You couldn't find a compliment on the legs of about Chris Eubank. No. Like, you could say, oh, well, he's got a good physique, but they wouldn't even, you know, they weren't willing to give out.
I don't think there's that type of hatred. I think they dislike each other because of the thing with the fathers. I think they're both quite switched on as well, and I thought if we act like we dislike each other here, we're going to make a lot more money. But I think Eubank
is... Of course it is marked in, isn't it?
I think Eubank is under his skin. Was it under his skin more for the last one because of the drug scandal? I think he probably felt that done, but he didn't get his big payday, ended up losing to Liam Smith.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that he kept bringing that up in the last one, got into Conor Benn's skin.
Yeah.
But you can see in the build-up, Eubank's trying to get a bit of a bite out of him. Conor Benn's acting like he doesn't want to bite. I think he does want to bite, but there is a level of respect in now, which I think have got to come from the type of fight it was. I think there's no way they can look at each other and say they don't respect each other after how good the fight was last time.
It was a tough fight.
And I think it could be a different fight totally, because I think they probably both underestimate each other. Because Ben was saying in the build-up, and is saying now, I generally thought I was going to knock him out in 4 rounds. And Eubank is saying, I thought after 6 rounds, he wouldn't want to be in there. Yeah. And he said, and he proved me wrong on that.
So it might be a completely different fight this time.
It might be.
Could be. Oh, we'll find out Saturday.
But I think they're both going to be there, the old man as well, which is good to see. I think there's a bit of a needle between the teeth for Conor as well, because obviously his old man should have won the second fight, shouldn't he? And he got robbed, and technically they're free. Was it one a draw, or did Eubank win both?
No,
so technically he's free.
Or was it the argument? You can argue about it. I remember watching the fight. I watched it back, the highlights. I watched that documentary, The Four Kings. I don't know if you've seen it. And it's Frank Bruno, Lennox Lewis, Ben, and Eubank. If anybody watching us at home haven't seen that, and in boxing, man, you've got to watch it. Brilliant watch. But they were close fights, you know. People were calling it robbery fight because they despised Eubank so much. And they probably thought, oh, Ben had the pinch on him. But those were the days where if you didn't convincingly beat the champion, you never won the title. And right, I'm not saying that's right, but that's how it was back then. And you knew exactly where you stood it. But Ben, you know, the fights with Eubank, his fight with Iron Barkley, if nobody have ever seen that, go back and watch
Remember we did for your birthday, your 50th, we went up to the question night, and it was meant to be Ben and Eubank when Eubank didn't turn up. He was off the Watson thing, didn't he? But he was, we would laugh when because remember he said about, they asked him, they said, would you have fought Canelo if he was on your day? And he said, yeah, I would have fought anyone. And they were like, how would you have game plan for him? He said, I would have fought him like I fought everyone else. I would have walked at him and tried to knock him out. He said, whatever that mean, he would have knocked me out.
Yeah.
How come he never fought Calzaghe then, Ben?
So, Steve Collins pretty much retired Nigel Benn. He didn't get up off the stool and didn't come out to fight against Steve Collins. So at the time, Collins had beaten Eubank and Benn, which nobody thought if you'd have stripped that back before the fights, you'd have gone, no way he's beaten. Went out, done a mass. Steve Collins for me is the most underrated boxer in European history because he was that good. You watch them fights, technically he was unreal. And he lost a few fights early on in his career. But what he did, he packed his bags, moved to America, went to the Bronx gym, Kronk gym, went and trained there.
With Manuel Stewart.
Yeah, he's come back and he went and he started verbalising after his fights. He had the Celtic kilt on, a little bit like a Braveheart step of the Irish version, and he got the fight. So what he done then, he fought Eubank, and I don't know if you know this story, but he convinced Eubank that he was seeing an hypnotist. So he's walked out to the cage with earphones on, and Eubank's still speaks to his days is that he beat me at that point because I thought, I can't beat this man, he's hypnotised.
Yeah.
I liked him on. And after what had happened with Michael Watson, he was saying, I'm willing to die. I never had that edge on me to
want to kill it, yeah.
He got outboxed. And then he beat Ben, and then it was supposed to be Calzaghe against Steve Collins.
So why didn't he never fight?
That pulled out Steve Collins with injury. Eubank steps in, and the rest is history. Eubank fought Calzaghe, and that's what propelled Calzaghe.
So did Collins ever come back then, or no?
No, I don't believe he did. No.
After the injury,
no. They done a round.
Because he's quite verbal now when he's saying he would have beat Calzaghe.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's quite proud. He's popped in SBG gym in Dublin and that.
He's bigger.
I'm sure Packy Collins is family to him.
Who?
Packy Collins, the boxing coach for SBG.
I'm sure he commentated on. I'm sure he did the radio. Steve Collins talk sport for the last Ben Eubank. Yeah, I'm sure he did. But he's a character, you know, another good documentary out there on Steve Collins if you want to find it. But I think Eubank, I know we're going off on a tangent. I don't think Eubank ever recovered after that Michael Watson one, did he?
No. Take a man's soul that you're responsible for that.
Well, it's that saying that, you know, I think it was Drikas who said it when he about Adesanya when he was fighting him. He said it was easy to say you're willing to die. He said everyone's willing to die, but are you willing to kill another man? Are you willing to kill him with his family sat cage side? And not many people are.
And that's in life, you know. Everybody says I'd lay down my life for my kids, but are you willing to kill?
Yeah,
because there's a different scenario.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go on to let's talk about
predictions.
Tom. No, let's talk about Tom before we talk about that fight.
Prediction? What fight?
For the card on the weekend.
Yeah, predictions or I predict.
I think Eubank stops him.
I think Eubank. Maybe if you don't stop him decision, I think you might see a stoppage later on. I think you'll have his number this time.
What do I know about it?
No, not a lot. You thought it was a fucking circus fight last time.
Still think it is now.
Tom Aspinal. I did a little video on the channel. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Straight after the fight, the day after, just saying how I know you'll be of the same opinion. I won't go. Just saying then that I think a lot of the public have got it wrong. I don't see how Aspinall's having the stick he's having when he didn't commit the foul.
And if you watch it back, it's not the first time he got gouged in that fight.
Well, he says that after the fight. Now, since I done the video, they've released the footage of him batting. He's saying he did it fucking 3-4 times.
Yeah. And let's be real. Everybody's giving it the old, but he was holding his right eye, but the left eye. Well, you don't know whether the nail caught it. It was a bad gouge, as bad as I've seen. I'll be honest. The 2 fingers going in there. Now, trust me, I'm happy to bet any man on this planet now. Come down to my gym, let me poke you knuckle deep in the eyes, give you a 5-minute on a time, and you come up and box one of my top boys. Not going to happen.
Only Tom will know if he couldn't really see or not.
Yeah.
And if he is saying he can't see, there's none of us can argue it.
And do anyone really believe now, you've got Tom Aspinall, for me, is like the hardest man on the planet, the heavyweight champ, is going to be around it and think, I'm going to look for an easy way out. One, I just don't think he could have fought anyway after that eye gouge. Secondly, the man fights anyone. You know, he's
called John Jones out for
John Jones. His main event. You know, it's ridiculous. And how the media can build this scenario, saying that he was getting battered. Well, he was very competitive first round.
Yeah,
I read about the stats, and when I looked, it was different. When I looked at the official stats, it was very close. But he wasn't getting outpointed and outbeaten.
Gane may have been edging it in a fucking round 1 of a 5-round fight. And we all know Aspinall got the power to shut the lights out. But
and what did I say before? I think I said it. I don't know if I said it on your statement private. I felt Tom was going to make a point of standing with him.
Yeah,
right.
I think
he was going to, because I don't think he believes Gane got knockout power like an Ngannou or John. And I felt he was going to prove a point that I could stand with him. And I think second and third, you might have seen a few more takedowns and the fight.
Also, styles make fights, right? Like, I see people saying, but John took him straight down. Like, yeah, but
I think it'd be a different fight if they fought again.
Not even that, but Ciryl Gane has got a stick and move style, right? John Jones, when we don't know, is a Greco specialist, so not a freestyle. He's upper body Greco specialist. John Jones didn't just go out power double him and take him down. John slipped the punch, caught Alden around the waist and dragged him down from there. You know, Tom is not great wrestler, no doubt, but he's not a specialist wrestler where he's going to tie him and tie up. And the thing you've got to remember is, when Gane was fighting John Jones, he was pressuring, trying to strike so he couldn't get taken down. When he's fighting Aspinall, he's sticking and moving so he's not getting fucking cracked with a big right hand. So it's a lot harder to take someone down like that.
A different approach to each fight as well.
And just to speak from experience, I've been punched in the eye in a fight. Not poked, but like knuckled in the eye, like the front knuckle. And when all them lights on that fucking rig for the cage is shining your eye and you start blinking, I see people say he didn't take the rag off his eye. Because sometimes the more you look, the more you try and open your eye, the worse it can be.
We've all been here outside a fight and we've poked yourself in the eye as a kid. And it's horrific. You're rubbing it, there's nothing to take with the pain, the water constantly comes out. When it's knuckle deep, it's not a man on this planet, or the ones that are, they just full of shit.
Put it this way, like, even if you think about it logically, people are saying, he fucking shit out. So what's the end result going to be of this now then? Him and Gane are going to fight again. Going to rematch. So what would be the logic in shitting out there and then thinking, I'm not going to... It don't make sense, do it? He knows full well they're going to fight again.
But I'll guarantee these people talking this talk have never had a fight in their life or never
Never
done proper
important,
training
yeah.
or...
I gotta shout him out. Fucking John Maguire does the videos now, doesn't he? Where he goes in the
he's
face.
getting after the
Yeah,
trolls.
the Muppet. Sorry, man, about this one. The Muppet can't see the goal, and he done one on Aspinal where he's gone through the comments and there's like comments. This guy's not built for this game. Shit his pants. He's on the profile picture. He's like, you look like you're built for the game. If you haven't watched it, go to John Maguire.
He's brilliant. He's done one on
He's done loads of them. Yeah, brilliant.
But people don't know at home, look. John is Welsh and our cousin, John Maguire.
We're actually related.
He's a Welsh gypsy and he's our cousin. So that's a fact of the day. And if anybody can send us to John, just for him to confirm.
I'll send it to John.
Yeah, we would love that.
Just a quick one as well on John Jones coming to woodwork now, saying, every time Aspinal, he was saying, I see on an interview the other day, every time Aspinal's faced adversity, he gives up. You know, he got kicked in the knee, he gave up.
Blew his knee out, had to have an operation.
But
what did he do when he come back off that?
But Brendan Sharp said this. He said, well, fight him then. If he's such an easy fight and every time he faces adversity, he gives up, just fight him then, John. It's, you know, you got offered 30 mil in what you were saying to fight the guy who every time he faces a bit of adversity, gives up.
So you should be fully confident
just
coming
fight
away
him
with
then, because you only got to survive a round and that'll be it.
I think what you have said in private is he will come back and it will be a devastating performance in the rematch.
100%.
It'll be devastating.
He will. He'll absolutely blow him out the water, and then John Jones can kiss the prayer fight goodbye. I think it'll be February or March time he comes back, and then that White House card is in June.
Do you think Aspinal Pereira for the...
Well, I think they'll want to do Aspinal Jones, but you watch if Jones wants the White House card, because I think he wants Pereira.
Is Dana going to give it him or?
No, Dana reckons he's not, but he might give it him if he agrees to fight Aspinal, because it's probably the biggest fight you can make.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's not going to give him the Pereira fight on
No, but I think if Jones declines fighting Aspinal on the White Out card, it could be Pereira comes in against Tom.
Chelsea made a good point. He said, if Jones want to fight Pereira, how bad? Go back down to 205. There's no arguments then.
Yeah.
You fight for the 205 belt.
Yeah.
There was one more thing I was going to say on Tom, but
what was the other fight on that card? There was one bar. I said
Marab, was it?
Marab,
yeah, Marab just done Marab again.
Marab, brilliant again, you know.
I know he's fighting again in December. Fourth.
Is it fourth or fifth?
It's his fourth title defence in the calendar year.
In a 12-month period.
Yeah, since January.
Unbelievable.
He's absolute lunatic, isn't he?
And he's become like a fan favourite as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know?
You don't even care about this. Like, it's gone from like people calling it a boring style to like, well, you just want to see someone try and have a little bit of a defence against him.
What did he say? He went and visited him the day after a fight. Where's he to? He's gone for a run. Right, let's have a look at this week's card.
Yeah.
Read the card out first, Jack. What we got?
All right, we'll start with the main card.
Any, not all of them, but any highlight fights on the prelims?
Yeah, there is some good fights. We got...
read them all out, let's go for it.
Well, the old prelim, you've got the early prelims where there's not too many notable names, but if you look at the... what have I done? I've clicked the wrong one. If you look at the prelims then, the actual prelims, at the bottom we got that Malcolm Wellmaker, the 10-0 bantamweight. They're trying to line him up with Peyton Talbot one day before he lost. He's fighting, I don't know, this guy Cody Haddon, he's 8-1.
Yeah.
Erin Blanchfield against Tracy Cortez, that's a big fight in the women. Roman Kopolov is fighting Robocop. That's a good scrap.
Yeah, two good scrappers, two good strikers.
Bo Nickel is fighting Rudolph Vieira. A lot of controversy around this one. Number one is meant to be on the main card. They've demoted him, haven't they? It's his first fight.
Sure.
The thing with this one with Bo, he's another one. He's got no real option, because if he goes out now and tippy-tap points on the feet his way to win against Rudolph Vieira, people are going to be like well off a bandwagon.
Vieira, for those that don't know, is like arguably top 3 jiu-jitsu fighters in the UFC. His pedigree jiu-jitsu is saying I'm world champion, ADCC. So Bo's game is wrestling, and it's probably one of the few fights in that division where he's going to be conscious getting submitted.
But he's got to wrestle him.
But he's got to wrestle him.
Because he did that against Paul Craig, and people were straight away not.
I agree.
But what I will say is, if you watch a lot of Vieira's fights, all of his submission comes from being on top.
Yeah.
He's not a guard game player.
He also tires. He tires very quick. He's all muscle. And if you have a look, he does tire. I give Bo his condition.
He needs, I think, Bo Nickel needs to take a page out of Fluffy Hernandez's leaf book when he fought Pereira.
Absolutely brilliant.
Get in his face, get hold of him.
Wrestle him and
grind
keep position and punch.
Yeah. I think if he does that, he'll win the fans back over. He's back on the track then, do you know? Because he fought Paul Craig, didn't try and take him down. Fought RDR, who's a submission guy, didn't try and take him down, ended up getting TKO'd.
One of my favourite quotes is off Fluffy Hernandez after he tapped out Vieira, and the commentator says, how does it feel to tapped out a black belt world champion? He says, over the moon. My coach gave me a stripe on my purple belt Monday evening.
Right, main card. First fight of the main card. Good scrap. Beneil Dariush against Benoit Saint Denis.
What a scrap. You know me, I love BSC is one of my favourite fighters.
Good style fight though, because Beneil's a fucking good grappler.
Yeah, but they both strike as well, but that's a good, well-rounded fight. Very close fight, great matchmaking.
You watched Beneil fight Gamrot.
Yeah.
Gamrot couldn't do a lot with him on the ground. Did he beat Gamrot?
No, I believe Gamrot won.
So look. Yeah, good stylistic fight.
Great fight up on paper, that is. I love Benoit. I just love what he is.
I did too.
Don't look on my phone.
He lost to Arman. He lost to Arman, lost to Charles. It's not. Where's 2025 then? I can find it, boys. Hang on, let me have a look.
Might be further back now, I think. But
was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Gamrot.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah,
I guess a few years ago.
Beat him by decision. And Gamrot's as good a grappler you can get in that division. So good stylistic matchup.
What's after that?
One of our own, Leon Edwards against Carlos Pratis.
Do you know what I'm going to predict? Yeah, I'm going to predict Leon's going to knock him out.
You want bet on that one?
I'm happy to have a bet on that because I just think Leon haven't had the rub of what happened with Sean Brady is this guy is listen. If Leon could pick a fight, what's he going to pick? It's going to be this guy. Somebody's going to come and stand with him. And I know he's high level, Pratis, but we've seen Ian Gary pinged him for the majority of the fight, and I just think Leon's on that level with the striking, and I think we'll shock a few people. Is he underdog?
I don't know. I want to bet that he won't knock him out. Let's bet 20 quid.
Done.
And I tell you why I think that. I think Pratis' standard is too good to be knocked out.
We'll see.
He's got 3 rounds as well. I think this is Leon's first 3-round fight since Gunnar Nelson. I think. Yeah, it is. Because he fought Diaz, 5-rounder, Cowboy, 5-rounder, and then all the title fights. I think he's going to win. I think Leon will take him down and submit him.
Do you? So you think he'll win?
I listened to him on Ariel. He said, he wants to make a statement. He said because his plan is win this, win one more. He said whether that be Ian Gary if he wins or someone else.
He's asking for Gary.
He didn't. He said he don't want to fight Gary if he loses. He says pointless. Yeah. He said he's called him a weirdo.
Right.
He said I don't think he said I think the beef have come from basically me fucking him up in the gym. We don't know how true that is obviously, but I think Leon, if he takes him down, will submit him fast.
But again, that's a main event fight there.
Yeah, because Ian Gary took Pratis down, or at least threatened with the takedown, and I think Leon's rest.
Yeah.
We haven't seen too much of Leon's takedown because he's been fighting wrestlers constantly.
Leon took Kamara down. Yeah, so he's got good wrestling.
People are talking about he can't wrestle. He can definitely wrestle. I think Leon will strike a little bit. We'll think, fuck this, take him down, submit him in round 2 or 3.
Next one.
This is a big fight. Sean Brady against Michael Morales. So we got 18-1 against 18-0. Morales, if you don't know who that is.
No, I know that
just knocked out Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert Burns knocked him out.
Bit of a mad fight because Brady's ranked 1, I think.
Yeah.
And Morales is ranked like 14.
You've got to respect Brady there, right, for taking that fight when he could sit really and wait for the belt as number 1.
Well, I don't know if he could, because
we could argue because it's a big gamble taking 14. Or you'd be saying, hang on, matchmaker, don't give me 14, give me 3.
Yeah, but I think what his argument is they're all booked up. So he's beat Leon. Leon's fighting Pratis, so that fight can't happen. Yeah. Main event
Bilal is fighting Gary the week after.
Bilal's fighting Gary.
Truthfully, I agreed with what Ian said. I think it should have been Gary against Sean Brady. and the winner gets the title fight.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah. Well, apparently they offered it for the Canada card, but for whatever reason it didn't get made. And apparently, I heard Brady say this, it wasn't.
Did I hear Ian say both had signed the contract?
Yeah, well, they got the same manager.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Ian Turner for whatever reason. But anyway, I think Brady will take him down, submit him quite easily.
I think Brady wins that.
I think Brady should have the title shot. I do if he wins. Shavkat is out for another year, and he's gone again. I think. Do you know what? It all depends on how the main event goes, doesn't it?
So go to the next fight. The girls. It's
Valentina against Zhang Weili. So Weili have vacated her strawweight belt.
Have come up the weight, haven't she?
Yeah, and she's fighting the Bullet.
Funny one, really, because both probably two of the best of all time. But it'll be interesting to see how she manages with the increase in weight.
I'm gonna say Zhang's gonna stop her.
Do you think?
I think she'd take her down, and
I'm gonna go
Shevchenko. I think she'd give her the work on the ground.
I'm gonna go Shevchenko.
Main event. Then this is the one we want to get deep diving into. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev.
I know I just say this all the time, but I'm so excited for that fight.
Did you know Jack went 0-2?
Yeah.
I've
seen it a couple of weeks ago when I just looked at their records when it was a couple of months ago. It was when Eubank fought the lad this time last year that he knocked out. He had fought Jack, hadn't he? And I've ended up going. Yeah. And what I've done then, I've looked like at Jack's record to see the level of what he'd beat up until that point.
Yeah.
And I noticed he'd gone 0-2, and then he's got just won every fight since.
Have you seen the size of Makhachev?
Yeah. Listen, I told us when me and Eubank was in Azerbaijan and we had the photograph with him, he looked the welterweight fight.
He's huge, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at him thinking, how have you ever made 155?
He's huge, yeah.
He's thick and not necessarily tall, but he's just
no,
thick.
he just looks
he's
thick.
Thick. His chest, his shoulders. Security nearly rubbed me to the ground when I walked across with him, mate. And he goes, no, come on, brother.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's an interesting fight. I don't think Islam will struggle going up the weight in terms of size. The only thing that we may see a little change in is obviously he's so big and strong at lightweight.
Yeah.
When he get older, someone is so empowering.
Listen, Jack have showed his ability on the ground against Gilbert Burns, who's again one of the best grapplers of all time in the UFC. But I just think with Islam, I think his weight cuts are horrific. You've only got to watch the videos. He's not going to have that to deal with this time. I think he'd be fresh for a good 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? But going up the weight, as we've seen with other guys, Jack's one of the best strikers in the world, not just his division. And if he cracks him, he's capable of knocking him out. What
you tend to find when they go up the weight for the belts, it goes one of two ways, and it either goes the GSP DC way where you just absolutely you look brilliant, or it goes the Volkanovski way where, well, not even I know he done well the first fight, but or they just look too small.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think people are reading a lot into the Bilal fight. I think where Bilal couldn't take him down. But I do think Bilal got carried away, thought he was going to outbox him. And I think by the time he got to round 2 or 3, Bilal, he was that beat up that he couldn't switch to trying to rest him because Jack was in the zone of it.
And again, we don't see these training rings, but I'm just going by an interview I watched with Bilal when he had the title fight against Leon. And he says, we find out we got the title fight. And I go, Khabib screaming at me, telling me, I got to do this, where I'm looking around. I can't even beat half the room.
Yeah.
I'm fighting for the world championship and I cannot beat. He said, Islam subs me at will. He said this openly. He says, he takes me I cannot stop him subbing me. I'm getting better because now I'm understanding the style and I'm surviving, but I'm not winning.
Yeah.
So, and that's just coming from someone that's inside that camp.
Yeah.
If he's seeing that on a day-to-day basis and Islam is, and I know it's training, it's not, we say this all the time, you can have guys you can do well in the training, but on the day, because they can hit you 110% and they're going to try and take your head off, that's where you see the real level change.
And in training, they're not slicing you with elbows or kneeing you in the face. Do you know what I mean?
But I genuinely think Islam can win this fight. It's not going to be easy, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jack wins. It's that close a fight, but I think if I was to have to bet, my money's on Islam.
Yeah, I think
just the experience.
I think Islam gets an hard go of it as well because people talk about his strength of schedule. They're like, he beat Volkanovski, who's a featherweight. and nearly lost to him. Yeah, but at the time, Volk was pound number one.
Yeah.
I know he then knocked him out. Oh yeah, but it was on short notice. Then it was he beat Poirier, but Poirier's won. Like, well,
Yeah.
Poirier was.
Then he knocks out Volk, and
Poirier's not that worn, though, is he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Poirier still beating Michael Chandler, just beat BSD.
Poirier still holds his own the top 5 now.
Yeah. Then he fought Moicano because of the short notice. I'm like, yeah, Moicano's not that good, but that's not Islam. He's gonna fight Arman, wouldn't he?
Also, the Australian card was fought early in the morning, like when you went to Vegas. And I watched the interview with Islam, and he said, I'm not making excuses, but I had less than 24 hours to rehydrate. His teammate was on the first fight on, and I was 5 a.m. in the morning Australian time.
Yeah.
Right? He says, so like, I am done and dusted by 11:30 a.m. in the morning, so all that is out of sync. The coaching staff have had to leave me because they've had to be 5 a.m. He says, nothing went well on that trip. He said that, and he was holding his hand. Look, I cut massive amount of weight. I need 36 hours to recover. And then I think we seen the big difference then was in the rematch.
Yeah, I seen Khabib say, funny enough, he don't want Islam and Umar to fight on the same card again.
Too stressful.
Too like, they can't have his full
close to each other as well. But yeah, I think Islam can win that. What does he do then? Because like, does Poirier move up to welterweight and they have a super fight? Or does he go back down to lightweight and they have a super fight? Or do they do a catch weight with no belt and they just go like the BMF belt? I don't know.
The problem, it's a tricky one because that's the fight to make, and that's the fight we all want to see is Poirier.
Poirier, he'd be happy to go up, I tell you now.
Oh, definitely.
You'll follow him up there.
I don't think... He got huge power, but I don't think he'll translate that big up.
No.
At welter.
But you've got, me and you've said this, you've got that McGregor mindset.
You go up there.
Where he does not believe any man can beat him.
I think, personally, if Islam's going to fight them, he'll have to go back down. I think they won't want to hold the welterweight division. Because everyone notice now they're not double champion people no more.
Yeah.
Because you think how backlogged that welterweight division is. Brady should be fighting for the belt if it won for Islam.
Well, listen, if Islam wins and retires from welterweight, you'd put Brady and Gary Strickland in if they both come off.
Well, let's just say,
it's a big, strong division. They're not in need of fighters.
Let's just say Islam's going to stay there, right? If Brady wins, he's in for the belt.
Yeah.
Who's Ian Gary fighting next?
Bilal.
Ian Gary and Bilal. So a win for either them, then that's arguably they are the next in line for the belt. If Islam and Jack have a 5-round war and it's close, how do we know they don't rematch?
They rematch it. Yeah.
Especially if Islam loses.
Yeah.
If Islam loses, they're going to rematch. Yeah. So I don't see how they're going to jump to Poirier up after just winning the lightweight belt. I think Poirier's going to fight Paddy.
Yeah.
Or Arman, either or. I think he's going to fight Paddy. He's not going to fight Gaethje. I just can't see it.
Paddy's been very vocal about, and I know Paddy's vocal, but he don't talk bullshit. If he's saying, I'm ready to go, it's not happening. It's not happening at the moment, is it? And they've had, it ain't like this. Oh, it's only been talking about it for a week. We talking months and months.
Well, from what I can get...
When was Poirier's last fight when Paddy got in a cage? 3 months ago? 2 months ago?
It was International Fight Week, wasn't it?
So that's July?
End of June.
End of June. August, September. Yeah, it's over 3 months ago.
What I've heard online is they're shelving, they're going to use Poirier as the first fight on Paramount in January.
Right.
Well, no, it wouldn't be January because they would have announced it by now.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to use him for the first one in Paramount. The biggest fight you can do if you want to draw viewers in on Paramount and get subscribers is Paddy.
Yeah.
And from what I can gauge on what Paddy is saying on his vlogs and stuff is like, from what I can gauge, I might have this wrong, but I think the brass are almost telling him, this is the fight we want to do. We got to get him to commit to it. He's the champion.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Poirier's stringing him along a little bit. And just all this shit going on, he finished with his misses and all that. Don't know, dude.
The problem you got with Poirier is that he doesn't need money.
No.
He was a millionaire before he arrived.
Have you seen
now he's on big money.
Have you seen Arman ripping him? Because Arman's like a multi-millionaire and his dad's like a billionaire or whatever. And he's like saying he's not a rich man. He's like, he's pretending to be rich. He rents his private planes and all that. But obviously, I don't see that they're going to do Poirier and Gaethje. Because Gaethje, I know he looked good in his last fight. He's one fight removed from getting starched out by Max Holloway.
That would end bad for him as well, I think. But if I'm honest,
Paddy's the fight to do. Do it now.
And you know, Paddy, genuinely, Paddy got no fear of the man.
But do it now whilst Paddy got all his hype around him because Arman's booked up. Him and Dan are booked up for net or whatever, whenever that is. at the end of the day,
That's the main event. No.
Oh, Qatar, is it?
No. On the same card as Bilal and Gary.
Yeah, Qatar.
Yeah, 22nd.
Yeah.
So their main event, Dan Hooker and the man.
So my thing is, and no one's doubting Paddy anymore after how good he looked against China, but that's such a Shark Tank of division. You've got Max Holloway, you got Oliveira, you got people like Gamrot, Arman, Gaethje, all 50-50 fights, them and Paddy.
Yeah.
So why risk putting him in now with a Max Holloway, and he might lose because Max Holloway is that fucking good.
Yeah.
And then you can't do the Topuria fight. Do the big fight.
And do you know what I honestly would be interested in as well? Max rematching at 70, because I don't think he'd be such
I think the weight cut, yeah.
I think you'd see a different type of Max.
Yeah.
But so it'd be interesting to see.
Max got no fear of Topuria, but Max will fight him.
You talk about, when you talk about fighting, man, I always, when somebody says to me, always like a real fight, I think, who would be fighting if they weren't in the UFC? They'd just be fighters.
Street fighting. Max Holloway. Yeah, Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier. Right. Paddy. No so much. Paddy have it. He proved that when he got up to Manchester top team. Paddy will have it up. But then you've got athletes, like GSP. You ain't seeing GSP is going to go and have a street fight somewhere, No. Leon Edwards from the street. He'd be happy to have a
John Jones would have it on the street.
There's certain individuals that are born fighters and you've given them a skill set to be the best fighter they can be. But there's others you've got to build up and they're athletes. There's a difference between a real fighter and an athlete in my mind.
But I think that's the fight they do. I think Poirier said lightweight, build the fight a little bit till the end of next year. If we can get...
You imagine if they put Paddy and Ilya on a Conor Aldo type world tour?
Yeah.
Oh,
so let's just...
worth the money on his own.
For me, I'm thinking 12 months. I know we won the Islam Ilya fight now, but let's just say Ilya gets a win in February and a win in the summer. Islam wins fights again in June, defends the welterweight. Then we can do champ v champ at the end of the year and maybe let Ilya come up. Because Chelsea made a good point. He said, Islam says he's going to go back down. He's like, let's just see where he said if he wins the belt. He said, because he's going to have this fight week where he's enjoying himself. It's not as bad a weight cut. Is he really going to think, I'm going to put myself through 12?
Well, if he beats the number one there in the world, right, he's going to look down on rankings. He's going to go, I know I got Bilal's number because mentally I've beaten him already in the gym.
Yeah. Right? Stylistically, it's a better division for him.
Stylistically, Ian Gary, stylistically, good fight for him. Yeah. Right? Carlos Prates.
Good fight for him.
Leon Edwards.
Good fight for him. Michael Morales.
Sean Brady matches up better with him. If we talk about styles make fights.
But also, you look at it as Brady's a strong wrestler, grappler. Are you really going to favour someone who's trying to wrestle?
Not favour him, but I think he would do well. He would fare better in the fight than a pure striker.
Yeah, he would. But then it becomes a stand-up battle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like, who's the better striker?
Yeah. But I do think both are capable of taking each other down. So with Islam, man, because don't forget now, you're talking Brady is a full-on big 170.
Yeah, he is a big boy.
Right? So he will pinch them takedowns.
Do you know what we might see? If they, for whatever reason, don't...
Our man took Islam down.
If for whatever reason they don't do Brady and Islam next, or Brady and JDM next, we might see Brady and Bilal rematch if Bilal beats Ian Gary.
Yeah, for the title if he vacated as well.
Or for the number one contender for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm gonna make a prediction and I'm gonna go.
Let's get the main card up. We'll do our accumulator.
Fucking, we definitely won win on accumulator. Wait there. Right, we've got.
Start with the bottom. Not out, just
BSD Benil Dariush.
I go BSD. Where are you going?
I'll go Benil. Just to go on. Leon Edwards Prates.
Leon Edwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Leon. Brady and Morales.
Brady.
Yeah, same. Shevchenko versus Wei Li.
Shevchenko.
I'm gonna go Wei Li. And we got Jack Maddalena versus Makhachev.
Islam.
I'm going to go Makhachev. I'm going to say he won't finish him because we've seen Gilbert Burns have Jack in back.
Yeah.
I think
he's a big lad, Jack, mind.
Oh, he's fucking unit.
Big lad.
That's fucking well.
Again, another one. Yeah, if he won in the UFC, he'd be fighting on the streets.
Look at his fucking nose to know how to fight that. Yeah. I love his coaching team as well. They remind me, all the Aussies remind me of the Welsh boys.
Do you know what I liked as well? I went on YouTube and watched the countdown, and I followed on to another link then, and it was
his video blog.
Jack's coach.
Yeah,
saying Craig Jones have arrived, not being paid, off his own back, and booked an Airbnb and is staying. He said, next Volk have turned up. And invited, it's like, I booked an Airbnb for next, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
None of them asking for anything. And I just thought, like you said, that camaraderie about the nation.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think we have that with the Welsh boys,
A little bit.
You got tribal gyms, and rightly so should be. But I can use an example. Our relationship, say, with the Matt Academy.
Yeah.
You know, they boys will come over and train with us. Is always respectful. You know, whenever Lou's boys fight, I always want them to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's a similar thing with Izzy's team and Volk's team and Madalena's team.
Yeah,
the three of them all like intermingle
well.
with each other. You know, so I think it's a good thing.
But yeah, there we have it. We won't waffle on no more because we want to do our editor a favour. Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, keep it short. Get out for the weekend.
What have we got next? We got
we were going to do one next Wednesday. It's been moved to the Wednesday after. They messaged me this morning.
All right, well, maybe we'll have a recap.
So we'll maybe have a recap.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see how we're looking for schedules.
Yeah.
Because he'd say he can do a recap and then he'll have 45 things he got to do.
I will book that in for next Wednesday.
Right, you heard it, yeah. If we don't have an episode, it ain't on me.
My fault.
Right, like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comments your picks. Big weekend of fights. Can't wait. And we'll see you next week, guys.